Well, if you were a fan of the WNBA, like I was, well, I have some bad news. The entire negotiation deal between the WNBA and the Players Association has collapsed in a big giant heap. It was supposed to end on January the 9th. And was any agreement reached? No. And because no agreement was reached, nothing is going to transpire. Now, they were supposed to bring in two brand new franchises, one in Toronto and one in Portland. That ain't going to happen. They were supposed to have a draft to get all the new players for the organization for both the new teams coming in, and yet that's not going to happen. But here's the bigger thing. The various arenas where they were going to play in the upcoming 2026 season, which starts in May, those people who run those arenas are now booking different events. That's right. The games they thought would happen during the start of the May season that runs through May and then into the fall, they may not have a place to play. Why? Greed. That's the only thing I can call it. It simply became a situation of there were certain people in the WNBA that, well, wanted their cake and eating it too. And you can't do that. The problem is this, asking for the moon, saying, you know what? We want to be paid just like the NBA players get paid. Well, the NBA has been around for a very, very long time, and they are playing to some very big arenas with a lot of attendance, a lot of media, and frankly, the players are making a lot of money. The WNBA has been around for around 28 years and has lost collectively about $40 million. And it's being supported by the NBA teams, the owners of the teams, who get a cash call every once in a while saying, give us cash for the WNBA because we need money. Because the WNBA is supported by the NBA owners. They are not making money, folks. And you're going to say, wait a minute. Ever since we saw Caitlin Clark come on the scene, the gyms are not gyms, they're playing in palaces, big giant events like Gainbridge down in Indianapolis. Yes, that's true. For the most part, whenever she's playing, the fans show up because they're fans of Caitlin Clark, not necessarily fans of the WNBA. They want to see Caitlin play. They want to see Sophie play. They want to see Lexi Hull play. They want to see the Indiana Pacers or the Indiana Fever team. They want to see them play because they're pretty good. The other teams, well, most of the people couldn't name one of them and frankly aren't really fond of them. But what happened was the collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and the players, well, it ran out. But they extended it for another 30 days, figuring, well, maybe get something worked out. Well, the WNBA was going to give the players, because right now they're making about $76,000 up to $100 and some thousand for the big superstars. They were going to give them a big raise. Like minimum salary was going to go like to $250,000. And the star players could make $1 million, maybe $1.5 million, a lot more than they were making before. That was the offer the WNBA owners were going to give the players, but the players, they did not want that. They wanted $2.5 million for the star players. The biggest thing is they wanted a percentage of the revenue. Now, in the NBA, the players get 50% of the revenue, but it's the net revenue, not the gross revenue. The ladies in the WNBA, they wanted from their cut from the gross revenue. Now, gross and net are two different things. The revenue, gross revenue, is all the revenue you get, but you got to take out the expenses out of that to come to the net revenue. Everything costs to run a team. You know, paying for those chartered jets they're flying on, those great hotels they're staying in, the venues they're playing in, all the other stuff, that comes out of your gross revenue. But they were still willing to give 30% of what was left over to the players, but that wasn't good enough. They wanted more. They wanted more. And here's the biggest thing that probably has a lot of people going, how does this happen? The two ladies from the WNBA who are the negotiators for their union also happen to be the two ladies who own the competing basketball league called Unrivaled. Bet you didn't know that. Yep. They're the ones who started it. They are the big owners of it. And they've got a stake in that saying, well, we don't want the WNBA to to flourish, to stay around, because they have the Unrivaled League. But let me tell you something about the Unrivaled League. Last year, their opening game, I think they had about 300,000 viewers on TNT. Now, this is nationwide. Keep that in mind. Nationwide, 300,000. This year, 2026, they had their opening night. You figured they're going to build, right? Going to have more? 107,000 viewers nationwide. You heard me right. I'll repeat it again. Nationwide, the Unrivaled League had 107,000 people watching nationwide. That's about 2,000 for every state. And roughly that's 2/3 of a loss of what they had last year. Well, why? Who cares? Nobody wants to watch it. Nobody wants to watch 3-on-3. Nobody cares because the stars really aren't there. And yet the ladies negotiating for the contract for the CBA, for the WNBA, they're the owners of the rival group. That sounds real, fishy when you think about it. So right now, everything has gone to heck in a handbasket, folks. There's no expansion. There's no leagues coming in. There's nothing going on. And frankly, nothing is scheduled to happen. The league is supposed to start in May. Right now, you've got to have your draft going on. You got to have your practices starting. You got to have the venues purchased, or at least reserved, so you know where you're going to play. None of those things are happening. And now the Unrivaled is still going to be playing with what? A third of what they had before? They got the money to support to keep going? The television networks who are sponsoring all this, the advertisers are going to go, we ain't doing this anymore. Or they're going to start requesting make goods on the loss of bodies and the eyeballs they thought they were going to get. Because now it's turning into an absolute mess. So I'm just telling you, if you were a fan of the WNBA, you're saying, well, wait a minute, we want to see Caitlin Clark play. Well, right now, she ain't going to be playing anywhere because there is no plan. There is no collective bargaining agreement. And frankly, I'm not sure they're going to be able to get one unless the players in the WNBA go, what are we going to do now? We got nothing. Because as the saying goes, nothing from nothing be nothing. And right now, the only one making money is Caitlin Clark. And the players in the WNBA spent 2 years trying to destroy her personally in every way, shape, or form because they did not want her a part of the league. And yet, the only reason the league has gotten big and gotten people's attention is because she joined and people's eyeballs wanted to watch her perform. That's not happening. And will it ever happen? I can't tell you. But right now, if you're a fan of the WNBA, you might want to book other places to see, other places to go, and other things to watch. Because right now, there's no guarantee that league is ever going to show up again. I could be wrong, but right now, I'm betting I'm going to be right. And now, you know.